Welcome to Quilting with Mary Beth and Donna. Today the girls are going to talk about all things batting. Glad you're here. Hello, Mary Beth.
Hello, Donna.
How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. How about yourself?
It's been a long morning so far, and it's only 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I know, right? Uh, I had a busy day yesterday. I know you've been busy. I had to
Yeah.
take the Amish shopping for food for the wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
That's when you went to Sam's?
Yes, and well, we went to first Menards, then to Sam's, then to Hobby Lobby, and I think and then Walmart. So by the time I got home, I was so exhausted. I felt like I could not move another inch.
Um, that wedding's next weekend, huh?
Tuesday, well, a week from Tuesday, I think. It's on the 23rd or whatever. So, yeah, it's in the middle of the week.
Okay. A week from Tuesday.
Is it a week from Tuesday or next Tuesday? It's the 23rd, whenever that is. Yeah, a week from Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah, it's the 27th, not the
Okay.
23rd.
That's what I was
Sorry.
going to say.
Sorry. After you retire, you don't have a calendar. You're like, I don't know what day is it. Okay, it's the 27th. Okay,
I
that'll be fine.
I always I often have times where I'm like, "Is this spring or is it fall?"
Oh, see, I don't do that, so at least I know what season it is. May not know what date or day it is, but
Too funny.
yeah.
Anything else, non-quilting related going on?
Let me think. We're getting Rod ready to go to Canada fishing.
And he leaves on the 22nd,
He leaves, yeah, somewhere. No, he leaves earlier than that. He leaves this he leaves on Thursday of next week. Is that the 22nd?
probably.
Yeah,
The
yeah, that
18th is
is right.
Sunday,
That's
but
right.
you
I
just
didn't know
had
when
your
the
wrong
27th I didn't know
your
when the
wrong
27th was, so I sure don't know when the 22nd is. Yes, he leaves on the 22nd, and he asked me last night or night before last if I would pack his clothes, and I'm like, "Now?" So I thought maybe he's leaving early, I don't know. He asked me if he could just stay up there and fish all summer. I said, whatever you wanna do. I don't This leaves me more stitching time."
I am, I have no idea what I was just gonna say,
Oh, sorry.
but, I know, I did get approval from Ed to come visit you, so
You
we'll have to
did? Oh,
figure out when.
good. That'll be fun. We can podcast from my house, and I know. Oh, that'll be so fun.
Uh, well, I, uh, I, uh, I think my husband, doesn't like me, um, because we have this rental property that we have 2 rental properties that we're finishing up so we can rent them, and one of them has been just a bane to our existence because the guy that was doing it first got arrested or is in jail, and then the other
Oh,
guy so we had somebody else, and so anyway, she wants to move in starts moving in today. So we find this out, like, on Monday. So we've got the checklist of all the things that need to be done, and he's doing them. My big deal is um, we have to put curtains up, and I knew that a set of them was gonna have to be hemmed. It just kept being put off and put off and put off. So we were over there last night, at 9 o'clock, and I have 2 sets that I have to hem, which, that's sewing, and that's not quilting, and
right.
that's not piecing, so that's not easy. So I was a little freaked out. So anyway, I get up this morning, I have to hem these 2 things, and it went very well. I think they're very professionally um, like from a Chinese sweatshop. Um, and so I'm getting ready. I have an eye doctor's appointment today, so I'm getting ready for I took a shower, woohoo, and, was was getting ready for the day, and he goes, "Okay, you need to take this set of keys over there, and you need to take this set of things over there, and then you need to then you put your curtains up, then you need to haul off everything." And I'm like, "Haul off everything? What? What what does that entail?" So, I hauled it all off. It wasn't that much, but it was like, I've got
Look
sweat
at
running
you
down my
go.
face and everything,
And
so,
it's only 9:15,
I know.
right?
Crazy. That means I could
Wow.
take the rest of the day off, right?
I'd say you need to kick back and jump in the pool or something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, talk about quilting. What have you been working on?
Well,
Tell me you've been
this
working on stuff this week.
look, I'm
Oh, you
putting it
finished it.
together.
Good for
No,
you.
I'm halfway. I'm halfway, I gotta put the other half on it. So, um, yeah, so it's a pink and white and purple,
Spools.
spools quilt for my great-granddaughter. Um,
And this is the one you were working on, at retreat.
yeah.
And nobody knows about this because we didn't ever
What?
say anything. So at
I'm
the on the
good.
retreat, you did not have, very good luck at the retreat.
No good luck at all. I sewed this quilt together completely wrong, all the blocks, so then I had to rip all the blocks apart and resew them. So I had thread all over me and the couch and everywhere, but got it torn apart, got them all the blocks put together at retreat, so that was good. This was the second quilt that I tried. The first quilt, um, I had called it was after we did Block of the Month 2023, and I
Uh,
had called and said this I was doing a what's his name? Scott is it?
Flanagan.
Yeah, Flanagan. I was using one of his books on borders, and so I called the quilt shop and said, "This is what I want." It's called City's Edge, and they cut the fabrics for me, but the lady that cut them, I think, thought I just did 1 block a month, and I did 2. So I
Oh,
only had half enough fabric to do it, and I kept looking at it going, "Could I start it? But what if I start it and they don't have any more of this fabric?" So tomorrow's
are you
Freaky Friday, so maybe they're gonna be selling some then. I can't get up there today.
do you have, enough to finish the borders or everything and everything?
Probably that, but not
Oh,
oh, I don't know, now that I
because,
think about that.
theoretically, you could just do 1 set and just have a
I
smaller quilt.
I could, yeah.
So
I thought about that, but then I said, "Forget it. Just forget it, I'm putting it away."
so we had 3 good sewing days,
And not
and
one quilt finished for me, but you,
that's
on the
okay
other
'cause,
hand
I've been there. I've been to retreats where nothing went right,
ugh,
and, in this retreat, I had 3 sets of blocks completed, so all I had to do was put them in a quilt.
yeah,
So I put together, 3 quilts, and,
right,
I finished, um, piecing the curtains for my kitchen, so, or for my dining room, and so I was worrying about that. I'm very stressed about that because I don't know how I'm gonna successfully put that together without having, a baggy back or something like that. So I'm gonna try to work on that today, and then I spent, like, $50 to buy the tool to make grommets for the curtains, so we'll see how that works out.
we're not talking about how much money we spent, so just
Well, no, I'm talking
keep
about just
going.
grommets, the little metal
Mhm,
things? Oh
mhm,
my gosh. So, anyway,
yeah,
I'm gonna
okay,
try that, so I might just totally ruin that quilt, but hey,
well,
there's
now you won't.
always more fabric out there.
You won't run it. It'll be good.
So and so I also decided that I'm gonna quilt some of these quilts that I've been piecing, and so I've got a quilt on my machine behind me, and and I actually, put a label on it.
Wow.
I know, from the labels that I had made from Spoonflower,
Well, yeah.
and then, I wrote everything down, I put the label on the back of the quilt, I loaded the quilt, and the first thing I did was put the wrong batting in it because I said I was putting 100% cotton, and I actually put 80/20, so
Oh,
I have a little
brother.
scratch out on my quilt.
Oh, it happens.
That's okay. That's
White
o
lot on a quilt label.
Yep.
No,
So
I have a I was doing, I'm embroidering a set of tea towels for my little neighbor lady girl that's getting married, and they have cute little blue birds on them, and it said, "Your bobbin thread is running low." So I thought, "Okay, I'll take it out, put a new bobbin in, and do the last one, save that bobbin for something else." So I did that, and evidently I popped the bobbin in wrong because it sat over there and stitched out the whole bluebird and it pulled white thread up through, so the white's on top.
That's
So I get to
always
rip
something.
that out one of these days, but, I bought, like, not really 37, that's an embellishment, but I bought a lot of those tea towels, so I have spares.
For you. Are the tea I know that there's a different bird on each
They're
one.
bluebirds, they're all
They're
bluebirds,
okay,
they're just doing a different thing.
and it's like the day of the week, if so there's
Uh-huh,
7 of them that have to get done.
yep,
Are the tea towels the same color, or do they have
yeah,
different.
no, they
Oh,
all
that's
have a
fun.
red stripe down each edge, so
Cool.
I
That's
showed
cool.
'em to Edith, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, she's gonna love these."
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah,
It's exciting.
she goes, These are better than handmade. They're like," I said, "Perfect?" And she goes, "Yes!" So anyway, that was fun.
And then you got screwed then it screwed up.
Oh, and then I messed up again. The funny thing on this pattern, I don't do a lot of embroidery, but I like to do it when I do it. It's kind of fun to see it happen, and how it's kind of mesmerizing to watch because, it's like over here, and then it goes over here, and you're like, "What is it? What kind of design is that?" But it's doing all of the same color at one time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun to watch it do that, and you can get carried away and stand there and just watch it all day if you're not careful. I
Well,
should have
that's
been
why.
watching Bluebird, that's what I should have been doing, but
Yeah,
I didn't.
that's true.
Yeah.
And that's when you put your other machine up next to it and you just kinda sew and
Yeah,
you
when I get my other room set up, I'm thinking that I need to have it closer than across the room from
yeah.
me.
But
So,
then
yeah,
again, you can also just sit there and watch it because, you know
backwards. We were talking about how we're backwards in our camera, and I see a piece of hair flipped out, and I, like, reach up on the wrong side and take hold of it. Oh, that's funny.
too funny.
And so I did get, by the way, I did get the, slicky finish on my floors out there, so that's
Oh,
done.
good.
Yeah,
Cool.
and then I think he said the 6th or something of June is when they're gonna start on my room.
And that's after Rod gets back?
Yeah, we have to wait till he gets back.
Well, that's good though, because
Yeah, probably because he knows more buildy stuff than I do.
yeah, well, we were trying to find us this rental, we were trying to find, so we had the cutest little stick down tile to put in the kitchen.
Mhm.
This is like a 1920s house, so
Oh, cool.
it's not exactly level all
Yeah,
over.
I know.
And so I found this cute little stick-on tile, and they stuck the tiles down and they didn't stick, so then they put some kind of adhesive on it, and there's yellow stuff all over the top of these
Oh,
tiles.
no.
So and I knew that it wasn't gonna come off like 3 months ago, but I said, "It's not gonna come off," and Ed said, "Well, I messed with it and it came off just fine." Well, apparently he and I are different folks because it's not coming off.
Tell him
So
to
we're
go sit over there and take glue off.
well we were went over there several times this week. I spent like 4 hours cleaning up the hardwoods because the people were a huge mess. And then this stuff's not coming off, so we're trying to find somebody to lay a vinyl sheet on top of it, and of course, there's nobody available to do that, and so
Uh-huh.
Ed's like, "Well, why don't you call and why don't you call?" And I'm like, "I am not gonna call these people because 'cause they're not gonna give me the time of day."
Yeah.
They just don't respect sorry, but
Mhm. I
they just
know.
don't respect women like they should.
No.
And so I said, "I'll do everything else, but you have to initialize the call."
Mhm.
So we're still looking for somebody for that. So that was a way, little jaunt
Yeah.
off of well, off of topic.
Well, anyway, that's
But
what you've been
yeah,
up to, so
yeah.
that works.
Okay, so, let's do housekeeping. This is a podcast called Quilting with Mary Beth and Donna. You're Mary Beth.
I am.
I I am Donna. Um, um, we, uh you can find us on Spotify and on I what I don't know what is it called?
Apple,
Podcast?
whatever. Apple
Apple
Podcast.
Podcasts. Yeah, Apple
Mhm.
Podcasts. You can also find us at Quilting with Mary Beth and Donna dot Alitu, ALITU, at or yeah. So look, you can look for us online, and there is a website. So even if you go onto Spotify, you can click on the website, and that will give you everything too. So that's how you can find us. Mary Beth, you have a Facebook page
I do. Quilting with Mary Beth.
on Facebook. If you wanna find it, you can find it and join, and you have to answer 3, quilting related questions. So
And they're easy questions, and I just need for you to answer them. 'Cause I do get people that wanna join and just then it just sits there for and I let it sit there for a while thinking, "Come on," you know? And if I send them a message, it goes to that weird spot, in your messenger,
yeah,
and
that you
then
can't
they'll
see.
see it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it doesn't do me any good to try to send them a message, I've done that before.
I right,
Sometimes people that are already on the page will invite someone to the page,
right.
and I don't know if they know they've been invited. So it just sits there. That's the
Mm,
case right now. It's been there for 3 weeks. I'm just gonna have to delete it.
yeah, that's okay. They won't miss it. If they haven't noticed it yet, they won't miss it.
I hate deleting it. I feel like I'm turning loose a friend or something, you know?
I asked to join, the Jelly Roll Rug group on
Uh-huh.
Facebook, and
Yeah.
I get this message that said I was denied, and I'm like, "Well, excuse me."
Right?
But apparently it had asked questions, and I hadn't seen that it
Missed
asked
it.
questions, so
Yeah.
I think I'm in the group now. I don't know how long I'll stay, but I wanna
They're teaching one of those classes, by the way, at City's Edge.
really I want to make, placemats, so I've got
They're teaching
2.
a square one.
No, I want a oval one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I want. Okay, and I, also have a Facebook page, a business-related Facebook page called Donna W. Smith Quilter, and I also have, Donna W. Smith Quilter on Instagram, and if you hashtag Donna W. Smith Quilter, you can just see all my quilting pics. It doesn't have dogs or cats or weird things. It's just the quilting part, so check us out.
Yeah.
Join us.
We also have Instagram, don't we?
Yeah. And
Oh, did
yeah,
we say that? Quilting
yeah,
with Mary
Donna
Beth Instagram,
there's
yeah.
there is a Quilting with Mary Beth Instagram.
Yeah.
So join us there. And one exciting thing is, we reached out to Mary Beth reached out to the Kansas City Regional Quilt Festival, which is happening in June, and, we're gonna be their official podcaster.
Woohoo! This will be fun. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, so, we are going to, do some pre-podcasting, where we're gonna talk to some of the people that are in charge there, maybe a sponsor, maybe, a guild or something that's involved, and then on Friday, do you remember what day that was?
Nope, but I
Um,
can tell you real fast, kind of.
Friday the 13th, June
Oh,
13th.
that's a bad day.
That's okay. Friday the
Okay.
13th, we will be there, podcasting live, so, it's gonna be down in Overland Park at the convention center. The festival is June, um, 12th, 13th, and 14th, so, look for us there,
And hey, how
and
many quilts did she say they would have? Didn't she tell us how many quilts? 4,000 or something? I mean, it's a lot.
I think she said 600,
Oh, she
maybe? I don't remember, but yeah.
4,000 is a lot. Okay, so 600. That's
Be
still crazy.
and being the professional I am, I wrote that all down, but I don't have it in front of
I
me.
know, I don't know what I did with that was a
Uh,
retreat, so who knows where that went to.
Okay, so we are talking today about batting.
Yeah,
One of the most important things in your quilt is the batting. No, not really, but it is good to know about it.
it could make or break it, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that there are I guess there are several brands of batting.
Mhm.
And you have your favorite and you hate all the others, but that's okay because they all offer what they offer. So probably the most um, known type of batting is Hobbs, right? Wouldn't you say
Right.
Hobbs is the most known?
I would
And
say
they're
it's
and they are
probably
out.
the easiest, don't you think? Been
Say that
around
one
the
more.
longest, maybe?
I don't
Been
know.
around the longest? Okay.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Do you remember years ago the quilting, the Harriet Hobbs read book about quilting? Harriet Hobbs was a quilter, and this has been, 20, 25 years ago. She wrote a book, about quilting, and I think it was more about I think I probably had it at one time. It was more about quilting than, like, piecing, um, I think, but anyway, she used to do classes about batting,
Oh,
and the different types of batting and everything. So Hobbs has been around a long time. Warm and Natural is another one. You can usually get that at, the stores like Joann's and
St. Joanne's.
well, they're closing, but that's where you used to be able to get it. And we'll talk about the differences in these. Pellin has batting. I love Pellin batting.
Do you?
There was like 3 or 4 years where you could buy Pellin batting on Overstock.com for like you get 30 yards for like, $75. It
Wow.
was wonderful, but you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And then the other one, that is, I think, most you'll see most is um, what's it called? The quilting, hold on.
Quilters oh, no, wait.
Quilter's
Yeah.
Dream?
Yeah, yeah,
Dream Batting.
yeah.
And that they are out of, off the East Coast. And I used to use them. Well, I used them, but, when shipping became, a concern, not a concern, but a price
Yeah,
point, it was just a long way to ship it.
yeah.
Um, so the types of bedding that we have are 100% cotton,
Mhm.
and you can get different, like Quilter's Dream has different, um, lofts or thicknesses of 100% cotton. So they have a very thin very thin 100% cotton, then they've got regular like you would think 100% cotton, and then they also have a really deluxe thick one
Oh,
that's, that's a nice batting too. I think that you probably would consider that most for maybe if you wanted to do wall hangings or something, because
oh, okay.
it is pretty substantial.
Yeah.
Um, batting and I don't think this is with Quilter's Dream, but with Hobbs, you can get your 100% cotton batting without scrim, SCRIM, which is just a binder that just gives it stability and it holds it together.
Mm.
So when you put it
It looks needle punched.
well, it is needle punched.
Okay.
But the scrim holds it together. So, like, on Quilter's Dream and on, when you have a bedding that doesn't have a scrim on it, like, when you put it on your, long arm, and you're trying to adjust it to get it flat and everything, if you pull it too hard, it's gonna pull apart, and so
Mhm.
it's very difficult to work with. Some people will say that 100 with scrim is not 100% cotton, but I don't know.
Hey,
Whatever.
I don't either.
Whatevs.
Well, yeah, what ifs?
Um And okay, so 100% cotton batting. Then you have and the needle punching, let's talk about me needle punching, is it goes through a machine and it's punched with needles,
Wow, that's neat.
hence the name.
Yeah.
And so it has a side,
Mhm.
a top and a bottom. So if you, put a needle punch batting on upside down, there's a chance you're gonna have pokies on the back that'll poke through. So I think what they say, it's holes on the top and pokies on and it's
Right.
pokies on the bottom.
Yeah,
So
'cause the needle goes through better
right.
where the needle hole poked it.
Yeah, so the top of
Beginning.
the batting is flatter, and then it's a little less flat on the bottom. So,
Yeah.
so if you have problems with that. I do have to say that, um, there are fabrics out there that are not as, I don't wanna say they're not quality, but they're not as thick, and
Uh-huh.
so I have seen, that sometimes your batting will poke through, and it's not because of the batting or it's 'cause it's upside down,
Or
it's
or
because
or the quilter. I mean, sometimes
right.
they will blame the quilter. It is not the quilter's fault. No.
No, it is the and I'll just put it out there, I don't wanna offend anybody, but I tend to find it more with the free spirit, like the cave fabrics, I think that they're hard to use on the back because they're just a little thinner fabric, I guess, or a
Yeah.
little less woven, I guess is what I would
Something,
say.
yeah.
So, that's what you have to watch for that. Then you have your 80/20 blend, 80% cotton and 20% polyester. And Hobbs, the one you'll recognize most is the Hobbs 80/20, and it's a little loftier. Um, I don't wanna say it's loftier, it's not thick, it's thicker, but it's because it's loft. It's
Yeah.
not because there's more fabric or there's no more material to it. That's a I would say 90% of the time that if you people are using 80/20. I
That's
think
usually what I use. Usually.
that's the one that most people use, and it's a little less expensive than the, 100% cotton, and it's a nice batting. It'll give you a nice loft, so you'll see the quilting a little bit more.
Mhm.
Um, it probably when you talk about a bed quilt, if you talk about breathability, it's probably might not be as breathable as
Yeah.
a cotton, so it might keep you a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
Warmer in the winter, not necessarily cooler in the summer.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so 80/20. The Quilter's Dream offers a blend, and it's a 70/30 blend, and it feels just like the 100% cotton. So whereas 80/20 Hobbs 80/20, you can tell the difference between a Hobbs 80/20 and a 100% cotton. The 70/30 from Quilter's Dream really does feel like 100% cotton, so I don't think you're getting any more loft with that.
Yeah.
And then you have, wool.
Yeah.
Wool batting is, very popular. I love wool batting for a bed quilt because it's light it's not as heavy, so it's lighter on you. It's more like a comforter on you than a duvet. Um, and it's loftier. And it breathes, so it'll keep you warm in the winter and it'll keep you cool in the summer. But you have to watch again for your what kind of backing fabric you use because I made that beautiful excuse me, that beautiful log cabin quilt I made a few years ago with the Kaffe fabrics, and I put Kaffe on the back, and the I washed it, and the batting was just coming out of the coming through the thing, so that's be very careful with that. Um A lot of times, if you really wanna see the quilting, they suggest using the wool because it's loftier and you'll just see the quilting better.
For, show quilts, didn't they used to say layer the batting, like, put a wool batting with a whatever,
Yes,
80/20 or something? 80/30.
yes, on my wall quilts, I always do double batting, and I'll do a layer of 100% cotton and a layer of, wool on top of that. It just makes it a little sturdier.
Yeah.
You can also double, like, 2 80/20s and then have the same thing. They're just thicker, just more substantial, but that's a great thing to use for wall quilts.
Yeah.
Then you have a whole bunch of other stuff. You have bamboo. A lot of people like bamboo. Bamboo is very soft to the touch.
They
It's
also have a wool cotton blend,
who
right?
sells
It's
do you know who sells
Tuscany?
that?
Are you getting to
Oh,
that?
okay.
Okay.
No, I wasn't going to, but that a wool cotton blend, what does that feel like?
Um, I had some and I don't remember, but I think I liked it. I can't remember though. can't remember, it's been so long ago. But I think Hobbs sells it, isn't that Tuscany?
Maybe so, yeah. Yeah, there are different types of Hobbs. There's, like, heirloom, and then there's Tuscany, and you can get the like, I think the wool that I get from Hobbs is an heirloom, but there is also a Tuscany. Yeah, you've given me some of that to quilt
I
for you.
thought so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just don't remember which quilt it went into, so
yeah, and that I will come to that in a little bit. And then you have, bamboo, which is and I think you can also get a silk batting too,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
something with silk in it. The bamboo is very drapey and soft, mm, soft to the touch, but I don't think you can tell what it is once it's been quilted.
And
So
what about the warmth factor of it? Does it
I think it acts like a 100% cotton.
does it? Okay.
Maybe it's a little softer. People will say that the 80/20 is a very, it drapes well, and
Uh-huh.
I would say probably your bamboo is going to drape well,
Okay.
but it's gonna be comparable. It's maybe a little bit lighter than 100% cotton,
Mhm.
but it compares to 100% cotton. I used to there used to be, and I think it was a dream bamboo, and this has been years ago, and I haven't noticed it recently, but, whenever I worked with it, it kinda smelled uh, like a hot vacuum, like a motor
Oh,
that was
yum.
overheating,
Yeah.
and it was just while I was quilting it, so that was pretty interesting.
Hmm.
And then, let's see. Oh, so one of the questions when we talked about quilt labels was I said that I would like to know I wanna put on the back of my quilts what type of batting I use.
Okay.
Because, and Sheila asked, why do you care about that?" Or "What's that about?" And I said, "Well, I have a hard time telling what kind of batting I've used after I've used it. I mean, like,
After it's in the quilt.
yeah,
Yeah.
once it's finished, I have a hard time remembering what kind of batting it is. And it's very hard to tell by touch.
Yeah.
So so I like to put that down, on the on the quilt labels that I don't use.
Yeah. I will say one thing about that. M when I was quilting, long arm quilting, I made a quilt for Rod, and it was a log cabin quilt, and I don't know what batting I used in that. I'm thinking it was Quilter's whatever.
Dream.
Yeah, and it is so heavy that he hates to sleep under it. It's a king size quilt.
Uh-huh.
It's just so heavy that it feels like we're weighted down. I don't mind it, but he doesn't like it at all.
Is he, hot-natured?
He used to be, yeah. Uh, oh, it got where I had to turn the air conditioner down to frigid, and so he would sleep like in his stocking cap or something, because he was freezing. He'd put on a hoodie to go to bed and pull the hood up over his head, and I'd be like, "Oh, right, you're so exaggerating." But anyway,
Our air conditioner went out, a couple of days ago.
oh,
I guess it was Tuesday night, Wednesday night? Yeah, and so we've had to sleep with fans, and luckily we have a whole house fan,
oh,
so we can turn that on in the evening and pull it and it's been cool at night, so
yeah, you're
but
lucky.
yeah.
Oh,
So it hasn't been too bad, but I noticed that Ed was sleeping above the covers, but he still had his socks on, so, just can't
what
let
day was it that it was so humid? Was it Tuesday, Monday?
That was Monday. I
It
know, it
was
was horrible.
bad.
It was
Yeah.
horrible. They're like, "What are we doing here?"
I know,
Mm.
me too, and I'm grown up here, but this was terrible.
So does any I guess I would say, oh, and then you have polyester batting,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
there are areas I was, I took my first long arm class when I bought my machine from a lady that lived in, Wisconsin, and they, like, 100% used um, poly down batting. It was
Oh,
thick,
yeah.
really thick.
Yeah.
And that was what they used up there. That was what quilting was done with. If you pulled out a poly batting in Colorado, you'd get thrown out of the state, I'm sure. And
Right.
I think that that's kinda where it is now. I don't think that very many people use polyester batting. There's a
Yeah.
Dream Puff that's a really, really nice, has a really nice loft to it, so if you want your quilting to show, Dream Puff is a I think it's Dream Puff. I think that's a nice, very nice polyester batting to use.
Yeah.
Um, Jean Ann Wright said that if you don't want to have, creases in your quilts that stay, that you should use a polyester batting and the cheapest, nastiest one available. Didn't she did say that, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. That just floored me. I forgot about it that you just said it again.
She didn't say
Oh,
nasty, but she said, "Yeah, just
no.
the cheapest, worst batting," and I've heard that
Mhm.
I think I've heard that before, like, for even for show quilts because, you don't wanna have creases in your show quilts when they're hanging up in a show, but you have to fold them up to get them to where they're going, so,
I do have a polyester batting that, my mom did one of those cross stitch quilts, where you
uh,
buy the blocks and cross stitch. Anyway, she did all that, and then I was gonna quilt it, and it was when I first started out, and so I bought polyester batting. I hate that stuff in there, but I started quilting it, and then I went to visit my mom. I had probably a foot of it done and probably one swipe across it, and I went and visited my mom when I got down there. She goes, "Hey, I found some more quilt blocks." I'm like, "Ugh." So I coulda made it bigger, but I still haven't finished it. Yeah, I mean, how long is that?
you mean you've got more than 16 years on a quilt that's
I
not done yet?
Yes, and I just don't like the batting. I know that's why I haven't finished it, but I need to do it because it was mama's. So,
Yeah. I I get it.
yeah.
I guess I get it.
Yeah.
Um, so, we talk about where you get your batting from. Um, a lot of people would go we can't do it now, but a lot of people would go to Joann's and buy batting, 40 per with their 40%
Coupon.
coupon.
Yeah,
They'd buy a whole roll.
yeah,
And I think Joanne went having from using Warm and Natural to well, I guess, somebody brought me some the other day that's Warm and Natural, but I think they kinda started using Pellon instead,
uh-huh.
which I like the Pellon battings, I don't have a problem with it. Um, but let's see where else you can buy them in bags, like queen, twin, full, queen, king in bags. You get those at everywhere, right?
Local quilt shops usually have 'em, a lot of times they will.
Yeah, yeah, and they'll carry a brand of
Yeah,
fabric,
and they
of
won't have a
bedding.
lot usually because I don't think they can sell it as cheap as somebody else can, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I Because 'cause they'll just have a few bags of them. It seems like, and it's not a lot to pick from,
yeah. Lyons Quilting sells a lot of batting, I
do
believe,
they?
and people would, buy the batting and just give it to me, and I'd quilt it,
Yeah,
which is good. Believe well, and we can talk about Lynn Heilman
yeah,
and, Quilted Memories,
yeah?
which is out of Kansas City, and she, sells batting,
What is it
um,
called? Batting, something. What's
batting
the
super sale.
Yeah,
Yeah, battingsupersale.com is her website.
yeah,
She ships everywhere.
yeah,
The interesting thing with batting or with Hobbs is that Hobbs, does not really want to be in the business of selling individuals batting because they price it so crazy that it's cheaper to get it from a mid person than it is to buy it yourself.
Like, the shipping is ridiculous when you try to buy it direct.
Yeah, yeah. And so you can go to somebody like Lynn or like Batting Super Sale, and you can get your batting at a reasonable price. Um,
And I get emails often with,
yeah, they
sales,
have
so
deals of the day,
yeah,
deals of the
yeah,
day, which is
mhm.
good. So she's one, and they even have I don't know what you call it, it's almost like a
Yes,
sponsorship program where if you sign up, like if you're a long arm quilter, if you sign up, um, with this dream quilting thing, it's kind of like, they'll ship the they'll you get credit for selling the batting, and they'll ship it to the person or ship it to you or something. So I think that that's through, Batting Super Sale too. So ask around if you are, wanting batting and you don't really have access to, like, a quilt store or, something local, ask around, and generally there will probably be somebody who is distributing it. They
Linda's Electric,
Yeah,
yeah,
Linda's Electric Quilter,
yeah,
has
they
batting
send
too
a
that's
lot
really
of messages on that, yeah,
Yeah, and they've kind of I don't know if they've revamped, but they've started advertising a lot more now than they
yeah,
had been in the
and
past.
more, yeah.
Yeah,
And
or
when we started out, nobody had sales, it was like, "Well, these people have stuff on sale," but now, I mean, her site comes up all the time having sales, so
Yeah, yeah.
that's handy.
Yeah, and there are some other places out there that you can buy batting by the roll,
Yeah.
um, I won't mention any other names because I had a little tiff with one of the ladies at one point, but it's okay. Another person that Donna can't interview. I really am I really am the nicest person in the world.
I'm gonna start a list back here, we're gonna just check it off. Oh, that's so funny.
I really am a nice person.
You are a nice person, you don't give yourself enough credit for that.
Nobody else does either.
Well, don't listen to them, they don't know.
So, anything else about batting?
Um, Not that I can think of, you pretty much covered it, I think.
If you have any questions, you can contact Mary Beth or I, and
Mostly Donna on batting.
will help you out.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, batting is very important and not very important at the same time. Because, like I say, you can't tell once it's quilted.
Right?
Kinda batting it is.
Yeah, I don't know why I was so particular about it when I was doing it because now I have no idea what's in any of my quilts.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah, because I can remember buying, uh, Quilter's Dream all the time. I was just like, "I gotta have that." And then I did a Hobbs, like, I would go back and forth a little bit, but Quilter's Dream was my batting,
Really?
and yeah, I just loved it. And then, I don't know, it was just easier to load, I think, on the machine, like, even Hobbs feels like you could pull it apart even though you can't really. I mean, you could if you tugged hard
Yeah.
enough, but the Quilter's Dream seemed more solid, more
Mhm. Yeah.
something.
But it was s it was
70/30.
it was delicate also
Yeah.
because the 100% cotton. I don't like it.
No, I didn't do 100% cotton. I did this is it 70/30 for them
Yeah,
and 80/20 for Hobbs?
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
probably why it was a little more
yeah.
sturdy.
I had to, and this is my story is I wait till the very last minute, but and when I need batting, and then I run to, Overland Park and buy batting.
Oh, yeah, I've been there with you when you
And
did that.
I get there, and they're like, "Well, we don't have any we don't have any of that." And so I ended up, with 2 rolls of 100% cotton without scrim, so and that stuff is delicate. So and even, like, the dogs just walk by it and they rip a hole in it, so I can
When
see
you
some
moved
over there.
here when you moved here, I just had a roll of batting sent from Lynn's place up to you, just
Yeah,
so when I bring my quilts in, I've got batting there already.
but you've used it all up, so you could
Have
probably
I?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, good. That's wondering. I'll have to send you another one.
There was a lot of quilts. That was well, last year you did.
Oh, yeah, I did a lot last year.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I can't the other day I posted on my page, "Let's see your first and last quilt you ever made." I have a picture of my first one, I can't even remember my last one.
It's 'cause it's not finished yet.
I don't know where it's at.
Uh,
No, I meant finished quilts, and I can't even remember what I finished last.
it was a Kansas City quilt.
Well,
Well,
but after the first
no.
of the year, I got 5 quilts done, and I can't remember what they were. Like, boom, 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 I had them all
Yeah, well,
done.
there was a couple of panels, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh, and Rose's quilt, that was a 3-yard quilt that I always make into 6 yards or whatever because I don't like 3-yard quilts. They're too little.
have you seen the 5-yard quilt book? I
Um,
bought it. I bought
you
it.
did?
I did.
Huh, no, haven't seen it
You
yet.
know
I mean,
why?
I knew they were out there, I just haven't looked at
Yeah, in fact, I bought it specifically because of that cute little shop in, Parkville, Stashworthy, where
yeah.
they sell little 5-yard bundles
Yeah, if
that
you
are
guys
just
are in the Kansas
adorable.
City yeah, if you guys are in the Kansas City area, go there. What is it, like $28 or something for a
Yeah,
5-yard
27 to 32, yeah,
yeah,
so
for a 5-yard bundle, and she's already got them bundled up and
so
they're
cute, they're so cute,
I
so
know, I
dainty.
love them. So it's fun to go in there and see what you can find.
So that is Stashworthy
Yeah,
in Park
yeah,
Parkville,
Missouri.
Missouri.
Mhm.
So, that's everything we know about batting,
Yep,
which
pretty
isn't a lot.
much.
Which isn't a lot.
So now I get to go to the license bureau with my husband because he can't do that by himself, and
And has to get a
get
driver's
tags
license or tag?
tags for our boat because he's headed for Canada, and they expire in June, and he wants to go get them now because he'll be coming back the first part of June, supposedly, I don't know, he said he might stay up there, but he's not driving, Luke's driving, so how's he gonna launch his boat after Luke leaves? So he's coming.
Oh, yeah,
He's just pulling my leg.
yeah.
Yeah,
You can always dream.
yeah. I know, I was sitting there thinking, "Man, Donna could come down more often then, we could" Anyway,
Might might be hauling stuff.
yeah, sounds like you got a job.
Okay, well, this has been fun, and remember, don't forget the Kansas City Regional Quilt Fest, we'll be doing some
Yes.
extra content for them, so
We
that'll be
will
fun.
have, yeah, we'll probably have a table or something set up,
Yeah.
and I just got in our business card yesterday. Woohoo,
Oh, that's right.
and, the banner comes tomorrow, so we'll have a banner that'll flag everybody that, "Woohoo, it's us," you know?
One of these days, we're gonna go YouTube. We're gonna go with
Yeah,
video.
that'll be fun. I mean, that's what Edith asked me if that's what we were doing at the Kansas City Regional Quilt Festival. I'm like, "How do you know about that stuff?"
Oh, and how does she know? How does she know?
I don't know. I guess because sometimes whenever I see funny reels, I show those to her, and
Yeah.
I guess she just assumed that we could do that too, which we could, but we don't have a YouTube channel to load it onto, right?
Well, that would we could easily do that. We don't have a video. We are non-video.
Yeah, we'd have to use our phones to do it.
Or and heavy filters.
Yeah, that too. Hit that little button up in the right-hand corner or left-hand corner that's like mute.
Too funny. Okay, well, this has been great fun, Mary Beth. I look
Yep.
forward to, seeing
Hey
you hopefully in the
hey,
next week
before
or
you
so.
say goodbye, I just wanna do a shout out. She's gonna crack up. I wanna do a shout out to let me find her. Don't go away. Becky Schwaller
Was she the one that
from
asked about us
Quilting with
today?
Mary Beth. Yeah, she said, "Will you and Donna be doing any more podcasts, please?" I was like, "Yay, we have a fan! Oh my gosh!" Oh,
Well, we
so
appreciate you. We
yes,
appreciate you.
thank you so much.
Yeah, we had a couple of weeks off there. We had the retreat, and then we had some other stuff going on. So we are
Yeah,
back, baby. We're
we
back.
are back.
You're
Yes,
gonna be
sirree, mom.
sick of us, sick of us.
Yes.
Okay.
So, okay.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Have a great day.
Well, that's all we've got for you today, folks. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time.